Am I the a-hole for wanting to break up with him for being a good dad? Original post. Me 30 female and Kyle 32 male had been in what I thought was a good relationship for 3 years. He has children, and for privacy I won't say anything about his children. He does have an ex-wife around our age and she's alright. We aren't friends, but we get along and she trusted me enough to ask me to do things if they couldn't. We were going to move in together, but obviously not anymore. It was Father's Day that this happened. He spent his day with his kids, and I spent mine with my dad. Out of the blue, Kyle texted me that he will always put his kids before me. Okay, totally unprompted. I was confused. My dad asked me if anything happened, and I'm like, not that I know of. It was weird and I didn't reply because, yeah, I know. You should. I'm still confused. We talk about it like the next day, and he just said I needed to know. I'm like, yeah, but did I do anything? Did one of the kids say anything? Like, help me correct my behavior. Why did you say that when it's to be expected? I know he's a good dad that puts his kids first. It's why I wanted to have my own with him. He kept saying that I just need to know my place in his life, need to know the hierarchy. It was really weird, and there's been no resolution. Now when I try to talk about that, he gets angry and says I'm being petty or jealous, and I always knew the deal. It feels weird to say it, but it almost felt hurtful, like some type of passive-aggressive move, and he just wanted to start a fight or put me down. If I've never done anything and have been respectful, why say that? I know I don't come first in his life, and it never bothered me until he decided I needed to know that from his own mouth. I'm rethinking the relationship and just removing myself from it. Now for the top comments before reading the update. Not the a-hole. He's a weirdo for saying that unprompted. I would take it more as a you don't really matter to me and let the relationship go. This is exactly what it feels like I already knew I didn't come first. It didn't need to be said, and everything after felt very belittling, but it's hard to put it into words. Not the a-hole sounds like some weird passive-aggressive stuff to me as well. Did he spend Father's Day with his ex and the kids? If so, that might be where this is coming from. I would demand to know what he meant as well, and would probably break up if he wouldn't explain. I don't think he was with her, but I'm like shaking right now. I never thought he could be cheating on me with the woman he freaking divorced. He just said he was spending the day with kids, but I lost details of that day because of that text. I feel you. That kind of message out of nowhere, with no context, would shake anyone, especially when it makes you start second-guessing what actually happened that day. It's not even about jealousy. It's about the way he made you feel small for no reason. Start looking for a place to live or move back home. Change passwords, close joint accounts, move. Luckily, everything is separate and I still have my own place. Just know that he's going to use you leaving as proof that you weren't okay with his kids coming first. You know it's not true. We know it's not true. But he's going to use that to justify him doing and saying a-hole stuff. Let him. Arguing isn't worth the effort. That's the frustrating thing. I've been trying for days to communicate how and why I'm hurt and what made him text that. He just boils it down to me being jealous that he prioritizes his children. He tries to talk to me like we're fine and I'm the one with the problem. Now for the update. So I dumped him. I tried again for like the 100th time to talk to him. What prompted him to say that? What did I do? He just got angry and said I need to know my place. And why do I have a problem with it when I knew he was a dad going into this? Same old line he's been saying for the past week. I asked if he was cheating with his ex, and I got called insecure, petty, crazy, and other stuff, but I remember those. I didn't even bother asking about hypothetical kids. I told him we're done, and he said he knew I couldn't handle it and to stay away from dads next time. I blocked him, sent his ex a text letting her know, and she saw it but no reply. Which is fine. She'll be blocked too if anything weird happens. I'm going to miss the kids, and that's the weirdest part. They're just gone. The graduations, birthdays, and other milestones gone. So yeah, no more dads for me. I can't say this was a learning experience, it just sucks. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling my cheating ex-wife to tell her sob story to someone who cares? I, 40 male, married my ex-wife, Lisa, 40 female, 20 years ago. We were married for 5.5 years and had 2 children together, who are 18 and 16 now. Our marriage ended when I found Lisa in bed with another man after coming home from work. Lisa tried to deny an affair was happening and insisted she had simply offered this guy a place to crash for the night. But even if I had tried to ignore the more obvious signs and believe her, she had sent our kids to my parents' house and hadn't mentioned anyone staying over, so I would have been a fool to believe her. After I filed for divorce, Lisa found out she was pregnant, tried to tell me I was the father and that we should get back together, then said I couldn't be the father, which I already knew because I had a vasectomy and did all my checkups. Then she miscarried and blamed me, citing the stress of the divorce and fighting for custody of our kids as the reason, even though she was the one who wanted sole custody and for me to pay $5,000 a month in child support, which wasn't even possible. She lived with her affair partner, and around this time he got arrested, and she stayed in his house. He served about 2 years, so our divorce was finalized and everything. We had shared physical and legal custody 50-50 and had a court-ordered parenting agreement that spelled out everything. Our kids hated Lisa's husband. He was a POS and highly jealous of the fact that Lisa had to share custody of the kids with me. He was an overbearing drill sergeant with them. He checked their stuff that moved between houses, including their school backpacks. He'd confiscate any food they had with them, even if it was from school. Most of the time, he ate it himself or tossed it in the trash. He'd write notes to me and insist my kids give them to me. Lisa knew all this. The kids complained to her, and it made Lisa complain to me. She took me to court once saying I was engaging in alienation because the kids complained about her husband to her. The judge didn't entertain her beyond letting her make her case in court. Lisa and her husband's personal life was a mess. She found out he lied about having a kid when they met, and he found out he had fathered another kid when he and Lisa were cheating behind my back. Those kids moved in with them full-time, and Lisa tried to sue for more child support, which I did pay some of, but not a large amount, because we had the kids an equal amount of time. My kids struggled with everything, and they'd talk to me. I had to fight to get them into therapy because Lisa refused to consent, and she accused me of trying to ruin them with an expense like that. Even when I agreed to pay the full amount, she said no. But the judge overruled her when I took it to court. My kids were under increased pressure to bring stuff from my house to their mom's house so the other kids could play with their games. My kids hated going to their moms, but my first attempt to get majority or full custody failed. The kids were too young for their voices to be heard also. I did what I could to support and be there for my kids. They grew increasingly unhappy there, and finally, 3 years ago, I was awarded full custody because of the wishes of the kids. By that point, Lisa had 2 more children with her husband, but my kids never bonded with a step or half-siblings and did not care about maintaining contact with them and still wanted to live with me alone. Child support was then changed, from me paying to Lisa paying. She had it reduced once last year due to financial difficulties facing her household. In the last couple of months, Lisa has contacted me a grand total of 42 times via email, asking for financial support and for me to send our kids' old stuff to her house. I wrote back one time, clearly stating I would not, and I ignored further emails. My lawyer has them documented, but that's the most I've done with them. Instead of leaving it alone, she confronted me and tried to tell me this sob story about struggling to feed, clothe, and take care of the 4 kids in her household. But I shot her down and told her to tell the sob story to someone who cares, because her household is none of my concern. Only our children are my concern. She reached out to the oldest too, and both kids blocked her once they realized she would start something. In response to what I said, she wrote a very lengthy email that I skimmed, and she sent a former friend of ours, who sided with her in the divorce, to confront me about abandoning her twice and being cruel. I shut that person down. It was 12 or more years ago when I last saw them. However, I am aware that Lisa is still the mother of my kids. I know they don't care for a relationship with their mother or step and half-siblings right now, but that could change. And maybe I am not creating the best environment for them right now, more specifically because of how I spoke to Lisa when she asked for help. I know all that did was worsen things between us. Does this make me the a-hole? That's what I want to know. Not the a-hole. She is a crappy person. I can't even believe that the court gave her shared custody in the beginning, given she was living with a felon. The court system is truly a joke. If it's not an offense against kids or a domestic incident in the home, it's not something that matters to the courts, at least in my experience. She knows you are a nice guy, but that's why you're a father and good backup. Get a court-approved app and block on everything. Have your lawyer send her a cease and desist letter about any personal contact and a threat of restraining order. Not likely, but good threat. This is where you need to be strong. She gets nothing. If your kids come to you begging to help her, then it's your call. People's actions have consequences. Stay strong, my brother. Your kids are lucky to have you and are a great role model. Set clear boundaries for her. Your focus should be on your kids' well-being. She made her choices. Your job now is protecting peace for you and your kids. Next story. Am I the a-hole for finally snapping at my husband's mom in front of his whole family? So here's what happened. We went over to his uncle's house last weekend. Normal family gathering, nothing fancy. I wasn't even in the mood to go, but he insisted. Said we couldn't keep skipping things or it would look bad. Whatever. I went. Barely 10 minutes in, I hear his mom talking to his cousins in the kitchen. She wasn't whispering, like, at all. Loud enough for me to hear from the hallway. Stuff like, she's lazy, doesn't even take care of the house. I don't know what my son saw in her. If I were him, I'd come back home. Like what? I cook. I clean. I take care of her grandkid. I've kept my mouth shut every time she made her little side comments. Every time she rearranged my cabinets or folded our laundry like it wasn't done right. Every single time. And now she's out here talking crap about me? Lying even? In front of the rest of the family? I walked into that kitchen, heart pounding, and I just said it. Please stop talking about me like that. You're always making stuff up and I'm done staying quiet. That's all. I didn't yell. I didn't curse. But man, you'd think I flipped the damn table. She froze, looked shocked. Everyone else just went silent. My husband just stared at his plate like it was the most fascinating thing in the world. Then she starts crying, saying I embarrassed her, that I disrespected her in front of the family, that I ruined the night, and suddenly I'm the bad guy? He didn't say a word on the way home. Not one. I asked if he was okay and he just said, you didn't have to do that. I didn't have to? Are you serious? I've been biting my tongue for months. She's made me feel small, like I don't belong. I've tried to win her over. I've been nothing but respectful. And he knows it. But now he's mad at me? So yeah, I don't know. Was I wrong for finally calling her out? Am I the a-hole? Now for the comments. Next time you're all together, ask your mother-in-law if there is a return policy on her son. This one is defective as it is missing a spine. Haha, might just ask that next time. Seems like I got the model with all the flaws and no warranty. Tell her you need a refund because the umbilical cord is still attached and hanging out of her vagina. The cost is 50% of the marital assets and 50-50 custody. You'll call the attorney and send the papers. Not the a-hole. You have a husband problem. You shouldn't have had to speak up to her because he should have done it. Tell him to pack up and go back home, and you will send the divorce papers there. He sat there and listened to his mom berate and insult you and didn't do anything about it and hasn't done anything about it. Tell him that you thought you married a man and not a mama's boy. Yeah, a husband is supposed to protect, not stay silent while his wife gets torn down. I'm done being disrespected. I think in a decent relationship, each partner handles the conflicts that are caused by their respective families. Would you let one of your parents talk badly about him right in front of him? Well, maybe now you would. She is a boy mom trademark for sure. She wants him to come home so she can make sure she's the only woman in his life. It's not healthy. No parents should want their kid to be alone forever so they can be number one. Last story. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister I will feed her kids food they will eat as long as they are dinner guests and she has the choice not to come if that bothers her? My family and I take turns hosting family dinners with everyone about once a month, sometimes more if we're simply looking to entertain. I 28th male like having dinner parties, so I invite them over more. My older sister, 39 female, always accepts the invites, and then she complains that I feed her kids, instead of leaving them with no food because they won't eat what she wants them to. My sister has 4 kids. 2 of them eat with no problems. The other 2, the oldest and third child, are labeled extremely picky eaters and won't touch most stuff. My sister has always believed picky eating is a parenting failure and that kids will stop when it's not encouraged. But her oldest is 9 and her third child is 6, and both are still very limited in what they'll eat and show no signs of improvement or growth. They have to take supplements because they don't eat enough, and there are regular blood draws to make sure they're doing okay. I always cook what they'll eat. My sister doesn't agree with this. She feels they should be having everything or nothing. She doesn't want to coddle a picky eater. I was always clear I would not let a child go hungry in my house, even if they're simply a guest. I rotate between the dishes I know each likes: soupy chicken fried rice, red pasta with fruit salad on the side, chicken stuffed baked potatoes, to name a few. It drives my sister absolutely crazy. This is whether everyone gets the same, or I make her 2 struggling eaters something I know they'll eat. Again, I was upfront about this with her when I started. I told her I would not let them go hungry in my home. She still comes, and she still complains and accuses me of undermining her parenting. She said I should not be feeding her kids things she says no to. I told her I will give them food that they will eat as long as she comes, and if she doesn't like it, she can choose not to come. The rest of our family has my back, which pisses her off even more. I know I could stop inviting her, but I love her kids and love seeing them and being able to help them eat. She confronted me for saying this stuff to her. She said I should be more respectful, that she's a mom, and I'm not a parent, and I'm not showing her the respect I should as the oldest sibling in our family. Am I the a-hole? Why would your sister be angry you make food that everyone can eat? You aren't even making her kids separate meals. Obviously not the a-hole. She wants to make the 2 kids with more limited diets eating more. She wants to end the pickiness, and that means not catering to what they will eat. When they need supplements and blood draws due to lack of nutrition, she isn't listening to their doctor. Not the a-hole. Sounds like an actual parenting fail. Not the a-hole. All of this. Every kid goes through the pancakes and chicken nuggets or 2 other random foods that you are tired of looking at phase. There's more to it if they never grow out of it.